What's going on, guys? Welcome to We Make It Work. Today's video we're going to be looking at how to create a completely custom honeycomb grill for your Audi B7 A4 S-Line or your B7 S4. These grills are not available online for purchase unless you pay $700 from LL Tech, which is some company, I guess, I don't know. But if you want to make your own, I think in total I paid maybe 200 bucks for all of this, including all the materials to do it. This video is going to show you exactly how to create your own and then put it on your car. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so here we are at the junkyard. I found an S-Line. You can see the fog bezels are downward. And we're gonna be removing the grill now. So this one doesn't look in great shape. The actual plastic itself here is snapped, kind of like along here, and then more like down here. You can see the crack here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take it off anyway. And I guess we'll just salvage the S-Line part here in the middle and then all the chrome around it. So I'll be using clips from another video, but yeah. So first you're gonna have to get your bumper off, and to do this you're gonna have to take out these T25 torque screws, which I'll show you right here. These are on your fender liner, and you might have to turn in the wheels, you can see in the video here. Anyway, there's a few of these you got to take off, then you push the fender liner in. You can see me struggling to push it in. And then there are these two 10mm nuts that are just under the headlight. They are a pain in the ass to get to, and you can see them. There's a zoomed in version here. These are, again, two 10mm. I use an electric ratchet and an extension with a universal socket and a long 10mm on it. What a pain to get to, but you need to remove these on both sides to get the bumper off. Once you get your bumper off with your grill still attached to it, you're going to need to get this T20 bit. And basically you're going to use this to remove, I believe there are 12 T20 screws on the back of the grill. As you can see here, there's one, there's another somewhere, I don't know. The next clip will show it, but you're going to want to take all these out. All right, so we got it up, and this is what those T20 screws look like. Pretty small, but there were a whole bunch of them. You can see the holes here. There's like one sneaky one here, and then there's like one up here. They go all the way around, so just careful not to miss any before you start pulling. It should get loose and just fall right out once you get them all. Don't ever want to see someone saying that there's no blood, sweat, and tears in this. All right, so we got the new grill. It's secured in the BRZ. I don't know how I got it to fit, but it managed to fit right there. Got a shirt on my seat, and yeah. Now we're gonna be driving home, and hopefully on a warmer day, I'll get started on this. As you can see, there's snow all around me, so not the most fun. Now that you've sourced your extra B7 S4 or S-Line grill, the next thing we're gonna need to do is source the actual aftermarket mesh, and this comes from the C6 A6 generation, and that's gonna be our donor mesh that we're gonna cut from that grill into the grill we just got in the last part. So I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. So the first place you can buy these is on eBay, and I'm gonna go here right now. We're just going to type in C6 A6 honeycomb grill. I've already searched it, so there it is. And we're going to scroll down a little bit. You can see they're about $90. This is the one you're going to look for here. Anything that says this right here, C6 A6, or that kind of generation of the A6 model, is going to be what you're looking for. So we're going to grab this. This is $90. Alternatively, if you don't want to buy it off eBay and you have Amazon, you can come here, search the same thing, A6 honeycomb grill, and there you go. This is actually even cheaper. See, it says fits C6, S6, A6. These also say down below fits A6 2006 through 2008. So we're just going to get one that fits the C6. As long as it says C6 in it, it should be good. If it's C7, it's too new, it's not going to work. So these are a little bit cheaper on Amazon. Looks like $70. And you can see you can get it in matte black or gloss. So for what I did, I got it gloss because I want that kind of shine in the front. The other thing you can pair it up with is these here, and it looks good with these. You can see that these have a honeycomb built into them. This is, again, for the S-Line, you can see here. And that's going to sit down here, downward curving. And then they also make these with a chrome ring in it as well. So if you're looking for the chrome trim, yeah, there it is. Wow, it's like almost double the cost there, just if you want that chrome ring. So, but anyways, I'm gonna get that on order, and I'll show you what you're gonna do with it in the next part. All right, for this section of the video, we're gonna be grabbing the S4 S-Line grill, whatever it was you got, and we're gonna be bringing it to the workbench. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and grab the S4 S-Line grill first. So that's this. This is the one I got from the junkyard. So you can see down here. We'll put that down for now. Next, we're going to be getting the new Audi grill. And this is from the C6 A6 generation of Audi. Came in this box. So I'm gonna keep this box in good condition in case I decide to sell my other honeycomb grill, which you may have already seen on the channel. But yeah, we're gonna open it and get it out now. Here we are. Some nice bubble wrap to keep it nice and safe. I'm gonna just take it out because it's not safe. All right, there's our honeycomb mesh. Now I got a gloss black online, and this one has these screws holding on this license plate bracket. So we're just gonna go ahead and take this off because I do not want this. My other one didn't have this, so that's interesting. So these are just some Phillips head screws. There's only 2 of them, I believe, and we're just gonna pop that off, see what it looks like. I might have to make some adjustments to this one. So it looks like it does have these tabs that I was worried about. I do not want them. You can kind of see it. You can kind of see these tabs well, kind of take away from the look a little bit. All right, so I don't know if my video just stopped or not, but anyway, we're using a drill bit to basically make these holes larger so we can remove the plastic tabs in multiple pieces. So let's keep going. So we're just gonna go on the side, snapping off these tabs. How well it's going though. Oh, look at that. There's some grill mesh. No border. I went ahead and took that off. Sure, I'll end up breaking that. That's fun. All right, we got the mesh. Let me get my normal grill and put this on top of it. All right, so we've got the old grill mesh and the new grill mesh with no border. You can see there's not a lot to work with here, like at all. Multi-tool time. Yeah, so we're gonna be cutting this off. This is a multi-tool from Milwaukee, and you can see there's a blade on the end, and when I turn it on with the switch, it just vibrates back and forth real quick. So what we're gonna do is just cut it real close to the mesh everywhere, and then we'll figure out how to kind of isolate the mesh afterwards. But yeah, we're gonna get going on this. So taking a quick break, I cut off all the borders, all the surrounding. Now I want basically the whole thing to look like this, or I guess it's hard to see, like this, where there aren't any connecting lines. You can see the lines connecting all this. So I'm gonna cut all this out. This is gonna also probably take a while, but we want the mesh to be, I guess, as big as possible. So that's why we're using a multi-tool. And the ear protection is, like I said, it's very loud. So yeah, so we'll do another time lapse of this. Okay guys, so this is kind of why it's important here to make sure you have the adequate sizing, because as you can see on the sides, there's really almost no room at all. So at the top, we're gonna have to cut some off, and if I do it at the bottom, it might actually fit a little better, and that's because it's wider at the top and it gets skinnier as it goes down. So if we cut at the top, we're actually losing a lot of that width, and that extra width we can use up here to kind of make sure it's full. Whereas on the bottom, if we were to start down here and move our way up, we might actually lose a little width up here. It doesn't look like it would really matter too much. Either way, we're gonna have to cut the old grill mesh out of the S-Line S4 bumper. And you can see I didn't take the top part off either. So we're gonna put this grill mesh to the side. All right, guys, here is the grill mesh. Look at that, got a nice grill border. This will fit very nicely. And you can kind of see here's like a rough mock-up before we do it. Now we're just gonna go ahead and go over this stuff, get all like the extra random crud out of here. Anything that might still be attached, like right here, we're gonna zip that right off because we do want just the border here. So I'll do a little time lapse now of me doing this. All right, guys, so I have it completely fitted all the way around. I just finished up making all my cuts. You can see it's not popping up anywhere. There's actually no point in which that goes above the chrome, so it's perfectly flush. This did take me quite a bit of time to do, probably a few hours of just sitting here trimming plastic forever. And it's not 100% perfect either. Like, I cut a little bit too much right here. There should be like a honeycomb here going up this way, but I cut that one off. So just take your time with it and it'll end up looking really good. Now I have to epoxy it in place. So I'm gonna get some JB Weld 2-part plastic black epoxy. For this step, we are going to want a bunch of zip ties to be able to hold all of the honeycomb exactly where we want it so it doesn't move while we're doing the actual epoxy. So I have a 100-pack here of zip ties. I'm gonna go around the edges. Again, I want this to be perfect, so I'm really taking my time with it, putting the zip ties on. So I'll give you guys a time lapse now. All right, so as you can see, I've now zip tied it only 5 times. So one here, here, one in the middle on the bottom, and then 2 right here. So now this should be strong enough. I should be able to, I can pick up the grill, but like by this, that's kind of what you want. You want it to be really nice and secure. But yeah, I mean, this is what you want, right? You kind of want this fit where you can pop it out, but the sides should be cut so closely that there's just a little tiny bit of tension holding the grill together. I have a little more cut to make, I think. Now it's fitting, I think, how it should. I'm gonna go ahead and just start the epoxying process, I think. All right, so we are now in the epoxy stage, and as you can see in this clip, I am squirting out some epoxy onto the plate, and then I'm using the mixer tube that came with it. Not as intended, since it's very long, and to mix those 2 parts together, it would end up wasting a lot because so much would get stuck in it. So I'm actually using it as just a little thing to kind of mix it up, and you can see here what I'm doing is from the front, so I know it stays in place. I'm finding multiple different points that I can put some epoxy on without getting it on the chrome. And then we'll let it dry for about an hour after this. And the reason for this is because we can't flip it upside down. Otherwise the grill mesh will move and get out of place. At this point, I've let the front epoxy patches dry for about an hour, and the JB Weld that I got said it was sandable after an hour, which means it should be hardened enough to hold it in place. But anyways, as you saw, I put way more epoxy on the plate this time and mixed it up again. And since the small spot weld areas that I previously did are now dry, I repositioned the grill very carefully in the position you can see currently. And this is so that it's not laying on the mesh itself. It's just kind of leaning on the silver part
touching on that back wall, and that will maximize the stability of the actual grill itself while I do the epoxy. So now that I'm on the back side, and the epoxy that I will do will be mostly hidden from the front, you can see me just going crazy and using a ton of it. This stuff is pretty strong. It has a listed break rate of like 3,300 psi or something, which is an extreme amount of pressure, and it's actually advertised for working with grills. So I think this will be what you guys want to use. It's what I'm using, and it's what I used on my last grill, and that grill had no problems whatsoever, so I think it should hold up just fine over time. So my strategy here was to basically find the honeycomb edges that were closest to the grill border, and once I found those, I basically glopped on some more black epoxy behind it. Again, I'm trying to do my best to not have any of the epoxy visible from the exterior when this grill will be mounted on a car. And lastly, as with everything else on this car, please take your time while you do this step. You know, you're already so close and you don't want to mess it up, so you don't want to be getting epoxy everywhere in places that epoxy shouldn't be, like on the chrome. So really take your time on this, and it should come out great. All right, now that we're done with this step, we're gonna let the grill sit for 24 hours, and then we'll come back for the next step.
All right, guys, so now that all of this is epoxied, the grill is mounted into the border and everything, I have this Audi emblem, I don't know, ring holder thing that I don't know where I got it from, but I have it, so that's fun. Anyways, I need to mount this to the front of the grill like such, like underneath. And to do so, what I've done is I've basically designed and 3D printed these kind of spring-loaded clamps that will go along the back, and they match the curvature here of the grill. It's a little hard to see, but since they're curved, they basically can sit flush with the grill. And how we're gonna do this, so first I used my M4x16 bolts in the holes on the back of this Audi emblem holder. You can see in there that there's actually threads. So I just went ahead and pre-threaded everything. I'm gonna go ahead and slide it underneath where I want it. So what I'm gonna do now is just get the first bolt in here and start getting it tight, and then I'll align the second one. Actually, we'll leave them slightly loose here. I did go a little much. And now I have this one. I believe these were set to 4mm holes, but the way I had it printed, the M4 bolts won't just slide through easily. So what I'm doing is I'm not even using a drill, but I'm just using a drill bit, and I'm just going in like this, twisting, using it almost as like a reamer if you've ever done like pipe work. And now, as you see, you should be able to just, slide that right through. Nice and easy. We don't want to have to thread them through this because we want the thread to match up with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and line up these bolts. And I will make the support brackets here a part on Thingiverse. I can't guarantee fitment for like your particular emblem holder because I don't know where I got this from. I think I might have got it from a junkyard or something. We're just gonna go ahead and adjust the emblem mount a little bit so it's centered, and then we'll tighten it down all the way. Just gonna go ahead and tighten it down now. We're gonna tighten it slowly so we don't crack the plastic open in those holes. Now that should be attached. Let's see if I can stand it up. There we go. And yes, it is centered, which is good because I wasn't really sure if it was or not. We should be able to slide the rings in now. I'm not even, this one's like kind of broken. I'm gonna get a new pair of rings for it, but. So there you have it. That is the end of the honeycomb grill manufacturing process. You basically just have to mount it. Now again, my rings are a little broken. They're missing the bottom clips, so it's not snug, but yours should be. And once again, I'm gonna show you the blacked out version that I made. There it is. And that has the LED Audi rings, which I will put a link up here if you want to see how to install those. But I'm probably gonna go ahead and swap this over now. I may make a second video comparing the two grills, you know, on the car, off the car, and all that, and then deciding which one I want. So if you don't want to miss that, you want to see the comparison on my black B7 Audi A4, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the video, and leave a like on the video if you liked it. Cheers.